Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cardano Live. Glad to have you all here. I have Tiago and Florian with us today. They've been around Cardano for quite a very long period of time and have some great news for everybody here at the start of the podcast. The Alonzo White testnet has successfully transited through a hard fork about 4 hours ago. And what that means is that smart contract capability has been enabled on the Alonzo White testnet via a hard fork combinator event. So it was a test event for hard fork to enable smart contract capability. Huge news, awesome news. Great way to start off a podcast here today with two of my favorite guys from the old days, from way back in time, Tiago and Florian. Thank you for coming on Cardano Live today. How are you gentlemen doing? Tiago, can you tell us how are you doing today, buddy? And a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go to Florian and we'll dig into CardWallet.
I'm doing great, Rick. It's a pleasure to be back on a podcast with you. It's been a while, actually. Although we do speak regularly, it's always a pleasure to be part of your shows. I've been doing great. I mean, so much is going on in the ecosystem. It's really hard to, be focused on work and catching up on development. But I'm really excited about these next few. This next month, actually, not few months, this next month and a half to see what happens.
Yeah, we've all transitioned since the last time. I was working as a contractor, and now I'm working full-time on Cardano stuff. And then Florian, how you doing? Tell us, how's it been going, man? And what are you doing now?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. I'm very happy to be on the podcast. First time Cardano Live podcaster myself. I'm honored. I've been good. I'm based in Singapore now, working on a few different projects that I won't reveal too much about today, but happy to share more in the future. Personal projects. As a reminder, I had joined Emergo at the end of 2018 and spent a good amount of time in Tokyo, working for the headquarters there, working very closely with Kodama-san. That's why I'm rocking my Tokyo memorabilia t-shirts for the Japan Times. And very excited to be here. Happy to go through some content and answer any questions.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So can you guys kick us off with what is CardWallet? What is the purpose of it? What is it? Tell us about that.
Sure, I'll take that one. So CardWallet. CardWallet is essentially a non-custodial wallet with fiat on and off ramps that will enable the major DeFi chains, but mainly Cardano focused, of course. And it's going to be an extremely simple product to use that, it's kind of cliche in this day and age because everyone's been saying this forever, but even your grandmother can use it. And this is one of our main focuses is in the UX and the UI. So you will not need a computer. It's going to be mobile first. Then later on, we will think about, extended like Chrome extensions and stuff like that. But given the mobile global dominance, it makes sense to to focus on mobile first. And obviously, this is going parallel with Cardano's mission to enter into developing countries like I was completely mind blown with the Cardano 360 special about Africa. And that it's a perfect example of how people, they're not using computers, they're going straight to smartphones. So we decided to just focus like really core product that is really, really good. And it's a one-stop shop for all major DeFi chains plus BTC. With really easy access to fiat on and off ramps using your favorite credit or debit card from the Visa, from the MasterCard and Apple Pay systems, and full DeFi capability. So in a nutshell, that is it.
Wow, that's pretty fantastic. All right, so Tiago, tell me like I'm a 12-year-old. What does it mean if it's non-custodial? I have ADA. Do I give you control of the ADA or no?
No, absolutely not. That's the entire point of it. So the beauty of this system is that, like Andreas Antonopoulos, his famous words, not your keys, not your coins. So we do not retain any user data. We do not hold any customer funds. It is your responsibility, the user, to be able to safeguard your seed phrase. So a seed phrase, what is a seed phrase? So when you set up your wallet, you will be given this long list of words, and that is like your password, so to speak, that you keep really tight, safely somewhere, like under your mattress or in a safe or somewhere. You don't show it to anyone, and that is the guarantee that no one will be able to touch your funds. They cannot be seized, they cannot be moved. They are totally 100% under your control.
Awesome. I can't reinforce that enough. Never give away those private seeds. Never put them in something that you can't trust. All right. Thank you for that. And can you guys know? Yes, please, Florian.
Sorry,
yes,
I just wanted to piggyback on what Tiago was saying and add something. If there are new members in the community, which I'm sure there are, Tiago just mentioned Andreas Antonopoulos just now, which is personally, I think, the best person to start reading up on. I was in crypto before I was in crypto. Like, we all have to start somewhere. And he has done many talks to many different institutions, and also written the content of those talks out in a series of books. Some of his books are more technical, but the talks one is not technical at all, because he's talking to traditional banks or traditional institutions or companies or individuals. If you want to start somewhere, my personal recommendation is definitely start with that. It's called The Internet of Money by Antonopoulos. It's an amazing, amazing place to start.
Yeah, great reference for that too. Andreas Antonopoulos, he also wrote Mastering Bitcoin, and soon to be released sometime either later this year, early next year, Mastering Cardano. There's going to be Mastering Cardano publication. All right, so going back into DeFi. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a reference, and you tell me how this works with CardWallet. You know, when I was a kid, I was telling you before the podcast, when I was younger, there was a savings product called a CD, a certificate of deposit, where if I take, you always had to have a minimum amount of money. Like, I had to have a minimum of $500, put it into a certificate of deposit, lock it for 6 months, and I would get a higher APY. For example, a 6% APY, or 3% gain compounded daily for 6 months. And that's how DeFi worked 25, 30 years ago. There's still certificates of deposit today, but the interest rates are horrible. So how is DeFi going to work in the context of CardWallet? And you mentioned Apple Pay and Visa. That's amazing. I'm really glad to hear that, because you're making it easier for people. But how's DeFi going to work in the context of CardWallet? Can you tell us a little bit more about that, kind of just in general? How does it work?
Sure. Well, first of all, your certificates, you said that your certificates, savings certificates were DeFi. They were not DeFi. They were CeFi. They were centralized in the bank, first of all. So the beauty of DeFi, so before I start like trying to explain it and dumb it down, DeFi is decentralized finance. So contrary to the traditional financial system, where you have to entrust your money and your financial applications onto someone else, like, what is a bank? A bank is somewhere, it's an institution where you lend them your money, and they promise to safeguard it, and in return they will give you some interest, and they will use your money for something else, but they will always promise to pay you back. Well, that promise is sometimes kept, often misused, and there are many cases where people get hurt from these financial instruments that are misused. With DeFi, the beauty is that it's decentralized. There is no single point of control, and it's basically an algorithm, a math equation. It's like a board game that there are some rules. And if you accept those rules, it will work. And if you don't accept those rules, then you just don't play the game. It's as simple as that. So to keep it simple, it's a guarantee that no one will be able to manipulate the rules of the game once you decide to participate in it.
Okay, thanks for that. And that's where smart contracts come in, because they're not human. They're going to do exactly what they're told to do, and you're going to get the result. You can kind of like anticipate the result is going to be correct based on how you're playing the game. Cool. Now, there was a piece that Florian and we talked about before the podcast, and that was with the how does CardWallet make crypto easier to use?
I'm going to go back to Tiago's first answer and add on that, or give it another angle, but I think he hit on all the major points. I would just summarize it in 3 areas: seamless, convenient, and universal. So we talked about seamless. You don't need to understand web extensions, or you don't need to know how a website's backend works. And as both of you mentioned, you don't even need a computer, actually. So very easy to use, convenient, seamless in terms of mobile adoption, and downloading apps and doing everything through mobile is definitely the mainstream now. Actually, using a desktop is probably the minority. The UX is intuitive to anyone, even people who have never heard of blockchain. The app will look fantastic, and just like any other app, it's very easy to use. And universal, also mentioned before, all of the different partnerships that the team has in the pipeline or already validated with the traditional payment methods. Well, then to the end user from the front end, it'll look like just any other application, but with blockchain-based features and a lot more possibility inside the app. So I think those are the 3 main components. Yeah, seamless, convenient, universal.
Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. And I'm assuming you can just download it from the Play Store once it's available, or they're going to have to go to a third-party website or your own personal website. It'll be on the Play Store, I'm assuming?
Yes, absolutely. We are deploying through the App Store, iOS App Store, and the Google Play to start. And then further down the roadmap, we will explore other options like web extensions, and maybe, if there is appetite by the community, maybe a desktop application. But multiple sources of data show that in this day and age, it's not that relevant. It's starting to become a niche product. So we will definitely focus on a streamlined and easy to use mobile first application. Yeah.
Nice. And I like the mobile action too.
I think the vision behind it aligns quite nicely with that of Cardano. Cardano is trying to build a very large, complex, sustainable long-term system, but one of the mottos is bank the unbanked, right? And as you mentioned, as we mentioned earlier, there's been a lot of focus on Africa, especially recently. So I think those 2 visions play nicely together. Mobile first is definitely the way to go if you want to provide financial services to hundreds of millions of people in remote areas. You're not going to be able to get everyone on a laptop with their browser up to date, and so on and so forth.
Okay. All right, cool. And, I do get questions from the audience that align well with the podcast. Cockbot has a question. He says, I see your tokenomics and utility of the token in a pitch deck. Can you explain briefly what drives the price of the token? Or in general terms, what can you tell us about the tokenomics? And Cockbot, thank you for the question. What can you tell us about the tokenomics of CardWallet?
Yeah, thanks for the question. And I do agree, this is probably the question on everyone's mind and the most exciting. I'm going to slightly disappoint you right off the bat. I can't share everything. We're still working on it. We want to use every single minute that we have at our disposition to make sure that everything is as perfect as possible before the release time. But I promise you won't have to wait much longer. Within a few days, we'll release a very detailed article with hopefully every single answer to your question. What I can say for now today is that we will, of course, support staking. We'll have voting governance features and also token airdrops. We will offer deeper features for people who really want to dive into staking, such as yield farming, optimization, even smart order routing, and in some cases, zero swap engines for people who want to dive deeper. And I can also mention that 25% of the net revenue will be used to buy tokens from the open markets and then burn them. Those are the 3 kind of points that I want to mention today. We have what we like to call a super secret special feature that's also upcoming. And stay tuned. We'll definitely update you that in a short term.
All right. Thanks for those updates. So as more comes out on tokenomics, I'm assuming you guys are going to go back onto podcasts and YouTube to give people updates on how the tokenomics works. You'll post it on a website and all that kind of stuff so people can see the percentages and the layouts and all that kind of stuff. And another thing along that lines, you mentioned staking within the wallet. Will people be able to, you're probably planning on doing this, but I got to ask, stake ADA, and also if they have, like, they could stake ADA to a particular pool, or they have some DeFi tokens, they can stake those as well. Is that going to be available to the users?
Again, I can't reveal too much because we are finalizing a lot of the concepts. Where do we want to invest our development energy, and at what rhythm? So we don't right now have we have a roadmap of development in terms of DeFi. So we have just to sidetrack just a little bit. So we have like two stages. We have the MVP stage, and then we have the post MVP stage. Yeah. Staking is something that we are going to take very, very seriously. We're going to try to deepen it and amplify the capabilities of staking. Obviously, we will support native tokens, and we have some very interesting ideas to explore around how we can go further than the usual user is used to when they think about staking. And this is part of our secret feature that we cannot reveal right now.
Okay. Early stages, I do notice that happens a lot. You can tell us in general what product you're bringing to the market, but it's kind of hard to dive into the deep details yet because you still got to iron out the details. So I guess that's a fair statement. So thank you, Tiago, for at least getting out that much information. We did have another question from CACBot. Thank you for the question, Mr. CACBot, and he says he didn't see this on the roadmap. Any chance of support for hardware wallets? So, like, I guess the Ledger Nano X Bluetooth. You guys planning on supporting hardware like Ledger Nano X Bluetooth?
Yes, absolutely. That is something that is absolutely essential because CardWallet has the number one focus is on user safety. So again, not to sidetrack too much, but we are going to focus a lot on educational content because we do want to bring in, of course, all the people that are already in the blockchain ecosystem and know what DeFi is and know what staking is. But we want to focus on all the new user base that has never used crypto before. So. Sorry, I got lost. My train of thought got lost. So the question was hard wallets. Yeah. So absolutely, hard wallet is something that is absolutely essential. And for example, Ledger has a new implementation for mobile devices right now, only for Android, but for sure in the future it will support iOS. So this is something that we will for sure explore in the future.
And if I can add something on the question asked by CACBot just now and the previous one from you, Rick, I think all of these are, features that are very nice to have. We want only one app to do everything. Of course, it would be great to have the hardware wallet support and the staking of multi-coins directly in the app and the yield farming and please optimize for me. I don't need to do anything and help me earn more coins and stake more and do more. Like all of that would be great, but it's always a balance between resources and time, right? So that's why the roadmap is so important. And then it needs to become a focused effort. And of course, the team will try its best to provide as many features as possible, but we have to prioritize. And the point I'm trying to get to is that I think it's a really exciting thing to look forward to is the relationship between the development side of things and the community. I guess product market fit might be a kind of a catchy word to slide in here, but I really think it is what it is. I think if we feel tremendous interest in one particular direction or for one particular feature, I'm sure the development team will assess it, listen to it, and see if we can make it work. Can't promise anything, of course. Again, it's time versus resource. But I'm looking forward to this continuous discussion between the community of potential users and the development team. I think that's where the whole fun is, and it's about building something that is the best for people who are going to use it. So I look forward to that. That's what I wanted to highlight.
Yeah, that's always good to keep your ears open, be a good listener, because you release a product to market, people get to play with it, they see what features are in there, and then you kind of listen. What are people asking for the most? What do they need? What do they want the most? What do they need the most? Right? Yeah, that's always good dialogue to have with the community to get things rolling. I do have a question from Dwayne Johnson. I'll take that question. That question is more for me, or at least it's kind of like on my line. He said, "Is this going to launch on CardStarter?" No, the Card Starter wallet is the Giro wallet. Okay. The gentleman we have on today, this is from the Occam Launchpad group, what I call the Occam family of products. Okay. Because you guys launchpadded with Occam, which includes the Occam ADA to Ethereum bridge. It includes Theos. It includes Iagon, which is the cloud storage system, and it includes CardWallet, as in Cardano wallet, is in the Occam family of products. Did I describe that well? Did I screw that up?
Yeah, absolutely. We are actually an accelerator incubated project. So we went through that program, and we're very proud to be able to have been able to go through the process and be selected to be able to participate in their platform, because they are really strict about the qualification needs to be able to launch there. Not any project is able to launch there.
Yeah, Mark told me that, and he wasn't kidding. He said he has very high. Yeah. He has very high standards.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was like podcast number 2. I think it was Cardano Live number 2 with Mark Berger that he told me about that. So yeah, he definitely stuck to his guns on that. That was good to see. All right, I'll check if there's any other user questions, and I know you guys have more you would like to tell us. Let me see. I think we got it. Yeah, I think we got all the main questions there. If anybody has questions, that put them in the chat. If they cannot be answered now, at least we'll know that the question is out there on the floor, and our team here can take a look at it and find answers for you and get them put out there in the future, either on their Twitter account. They got their Twitter. I'll get that link down below, and on their media channels. Now, the last and most important thing we had to touch on today's podcast was tell us about the team. Like, we got you two gentlemen who I've known for quite some time from different avenues in Cardano. Tell us about your team, who all you got, and what are they doing?
Oh man, Rick, I'm so proud of the team. I really am. So first, this fine gentleman that we have here, Florian, no introduction needed to the Cardano family. Yeah, ex-Emorgo CMO and an entrepreneur. I cannot speak about what he is doing right now, other than he is an advisor for CardWallet. We have Victoria Vaughn, co-founder and COO of CardWallet. She is ex-CEO of Cointelegraph, and that says a lot, and also a fintech executive and consultant. I also talked to my very good friend Fernando Gutierrez, who I worked with since early 2013, when Dash was still this little unknown altcoin called Darkcoin, and together, along with the rest of the team, we made it from the unknown Darkcoin to top 5 market cap called Dash. So that was probably one of my greatest achievements in this industry that I am definitely wishing to replicate. And finally, we have a world-leading UX UI expert called Jesus Gonzalez. And he started his professional life in Citrix, went on to Cisco, then to Oracle, worked with Dell for around 6 years, and is now with PayPal developing their next generation digital wallet. And he comes in as an advisor as well. So he will be working closely with our development team to ensure that our vision of an extremely simple, streamlined UX that your grandmother can use becomes a reality.
Oh, right. That's pretty nice. And I remember Fernando.
Sorry, Rick. Then we also have you
got more?
Yeah, we have a rockstar team of community managers who are top class. And we have a fantastic writer who is coming on board. So the team is expanding. There are more people that will be joining the team who I cannot mention right now because things are still in motion. They haven't been settled. So this is not the final team. It is still growing. But our mission is to prove to the world that this is... we have very serious ambitions, and to be able to deliver, we really need very serious people to join the team.
Yeah. Do you have more? There's even more?
There will be, but I cannot talk about it right now.
Do you have any job applications open out there? Because there's now a Cardano job website. I got to get the link. I got to find that link and put it down in the description, because there are so many teams opening up jobs. Do you guys need more? If you got a link, let me know. I'll put the link down below.
Not at this moment, and I don't want to sound disrespectful to the community at all. Of course, that we will expand. This is the seed phase of the project. We are going to do an IDO in the near future, and after the IDO, we will be expanding as we need it. So there's several stages of development. Right now, we want to focus on a really rock solid MVP. Then move on to the DeFi implementation phase. And then when we have that ready, then and primarily Cardano focused. So we really want to put this into the hands of the Cardano community to give us feedback about how they feel about the product. And then we want to scale globally. So once we start that phase of really like pushing out to the global community outside of blockchain even, then for sure we will need a lot of help. I mean, think customer service, think marketing team, think so there's so many things that need to be done in the future. But at this moment, we are leveraging direct relationships that we have fostered through the years, so that we are able to attract nothing less than top level professionals.
Nice. And I think I believe I remember Fernando. If he's the same Fernando who was on the Cardano Effect with me, he was the chief marketing officer for Dash?
Exactly.
For the core group, Dash.
Core group. Not only
core
CMO,
group.
He did a lot more than CMO. I mean, just restricting him to CMO status is very limiting. He was like one of the pillars of that project for sure. And yeah, I'm so proud. Not only is he a personal friend of mine, I've met him personally. He's a fantastic guy, and he will bring a lot of experience. Precisely because when I was with Dash, one of our missions was to, in the same way that Cardano strategically is focusing on developing countries, because they are going to leapfrog in technology, so they're going straight to mobile. They want to bypass the traditional institutions and move on to the next phase of our civilization, so to speak. We went to great lengths to introduce Dash in South America. And we had some relative success. When I say we, I'm thinking about me using the Dash cap. Then eventually I left the project, but Fernando stayed on. So he has tremendous insight on how to enter these markets, how to penetrate, what are the difficulties, the regulatory components of it. He is a lawyer by not by trade, but he's a lawyer by title. So he has this mountain of wealth that he's going to be able to advise us on how to push this product.
Yeah, I think I learned the most from him about how the Dash governance model works, which Cardano has absorbed, basically learned from that. Yeah. All right. Sounds like an all-star team there. Guys, that was good news to me, man. Yeah, just so people know, this podcast is kind of like a research artifact. Sometimes people tell me, I do the research. I've read all the information you guys sent me, looked at your website, but I always learn new stuff when you come on. Have people come on. If Fernando wants to come over, any of your teammates, send them on my way and say, hey, go check out Rick over there, Cardano Live, and we can bring them up here on a podcast. Sound good?
Absolutely. I'd love to have him on a podcast. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up for today. What I'd like to do is give you any last words. Did we miss anything? And if not, just take any last words to tell people what it is you got to say about CardWallet or what's going on.
Okay, so just to finalize, one of the risks of this industry is that there are way too many projects doing IDOs with basically vaporware. A nice website, a nice white paper, light paper, a nice team page. They raise funds and then they say, oh my God, now we have money. Let's go off and try to build this thing. No, we are on a development roadmap where we have a 13-week sprint to deliver the MVP. And we are at week 7. And there's 6 weeks left for our MVP, and we are not even thinking about doing an IDO, right? I mean, we are thinking about doing an IDO, but that's not the point of it. We have secured enough funding for 2 years of development, so we do not need the IDO to raise funds for development. And when people see our tokenomics, they will be able to rest assured that our cliffs and our vesting periods across all the different distribution, so development, marketing, ecosystem development, advisors, whatever, they have very, very strict and very, very long vesting periods, so that there's no risk of early seed investors or the team or whoever to dump on the market and
minimize
scare people
risk.
away. Exactly.
They're trying to minimize risk. It's impossible to get rid of it, but you can try to mitigate the possibilities. I hope that people appreciate.
I hope that people appreciate once they see the model, the distribution model, that we are not in this this is not a money grab at all. I mean, we have the MVP almost ready. We really, really, really want to create the best Cardano wallet out there that also has other chains.
All right. Sounds good, Tiago. Thank you. And Florian, anything else to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, a couple of comments. Number one, I wouldn't want to put my face on a podcast or on a project with people that I didn't trust in or believe in. So I think that pretty much sums it up. Not here to do anything weird. I want to stay in this industry and I want to stay in this community. So I hope that is at least a good note of confidence. And number two, going back to the second to last question about jobs and the industry, if anyone is listening now or at a later point in time, just a couple of key takeaways from my time working in one of the three companies that built Cardano. Do your own research, and do even more of your own research. That cannot be stated enough. Make your own financial advice. I'm sure you've heard that a lot. But most importantly, if you're looking to get a job in crypto, I think the best way is to become a number one fan of something. Become an advocate for a project. Because you've done your research, you know what project you're interested in and you know what project you believe in. And once you've targeted a few of these projects, just become heavily involved as a community member. I know that when I was building the team at Emergo, I wasn't posting job descriptions on monsters.com or whatever website. No, I was going on Twitter and I was looking at who our followers are and what their accounts look like and what their day jobs are. And I was looking at my DMs to see if anybody contacted me there. So just, again, highlighting the power of the community. If you want to get a job at CardWallet later down the road or in any other projects, do your own research, be studious, know who to trust, and become a big fan and an advocate for a project. And then that project might end up contacting you saying, hey, I like your energy, I like what you're doing, why don't we have a talk? And I think that's valid now, and I think it'll be valid in the future. And to be honest, in many other industries as well. The best hires are users that are so in love with your product that they want to join you. That would be my final piece of advice.
Awesome. That is an excellent message. Final piece of advice for this podcast. More information to follow on upcoming podcasts and other YouTube, because you guys are going to become very popular here in the next couple of months as smart contracts come out, as you start deploying your products. I think I'm going to be seeing a lot more of you gentlemen. I hope I will. And also on all the other awesome Cardano YouTubers we have out there. We have an incredible array of incredible Cardano YouTubers, and I'm very happy for all of them. They're fantastic folks. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on Cardano Live. To the viewers, make sure you smash that like and subscribe down below. Check out the links down below. And if you have any follow-up questions, let us know in the comment section. Ask a follow-up question. We'll see if we can get back to it as things develop and get you some answers there as well. And remember, Cardano is going for number one all day, every day, relentless, going for number one. Boom. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Rick.